There, yeah, it is. Acoustic, check it. How you doing? SwitchPoint, how you doing? Okay, cool. Let me get comfortable real quick and we'll do some poems. Or a poem. I'll make it quick. Listen, fatigue is real. Hold on. Super quick, I want to talk about labels and how in many ways I think that like when we sort of label people, it becomes problematic, specifically within the context of international things. And for me, like that was a problem. My friend has a really cool shirt with a mason jar on it, and then it says, labels are for jars, not people. It's super awesome. I'm still trying to find this shirt. But specifically, a few years back, a friend of mine, Catherine Stein, brought me pictures and audio recordings of people in Malawi, Africa. And she brought them to me and asked me if I could write anything. And I initially started this piece, and it was super dramatic and super objective, and I was really removed from it. But about halfway through the piece, I actually saw more of myself within it than I had expected to. And so this is that poem. Thank you so much, you all, for hearing my voice and sharing this space and creating community. All it took were pictures and stories of a Malawian woman to remind me I was African. That somewhere within my erased heritage and language, there are smudges of Chichewa. Flipping through photos reminds me I was once a child. Without the awareness and resources to counter the situation I was born into, can you imagine being born into a village where survival is as predictable as coin flips and wishing wells? Well, they will be too optimistic in the picture I look into. While listening to the narrator, she is poised with clandestine confidence, masking an empty home except for a grandmother and older brother. But I saw the slave ships in her shadow, saw manifest destiny in the tools she uses to farm, saw more of me in her countenance than in the mirror this morning, saw my mother in the calluses on her feet, farming peppers in Lewisburg, North Carolina. Leaknish Ginu picks peanuts in Malawi, Africa. In the story I have been hearing, there is a metaphor that the people are the peanuts. Sitting beneath the surface of sympathetic soil, Malawi is full of medical consideration, but there are few who are telling their stories. Perhaps it is too much to consider them more than patients. However, there was some debate about who is harvesting in the metaphor, whether it is the country or the virus, AIDS. I lost my cousin 3 years ago in the autumn. She never thought she would fall in love, and out of breath, her dreams of the big city and bright lights peaked with a high-rise love affair that now casts a shadow on her flickering life. I remember watching her lie there, too weak to lift her voice, her body too fragile to break my silence. I just looked. Couldn't say much of anything, but finally mustered up the courage to tell her, love you, cuz. You know I'll be praying for you. There are children praying in the next picture. I pray that God is listening, that there is not too much sin in their blood for miracles to penetrate, hoping he'll not make them pay for their parents' mistakes in T-cells. You don't have to look too closely to see well that there is a motherland beaming from my follicles. My heart drums a djembe rhythm over old Negro spirituals. My skin, a combination of melanin and Malawi pigment and peanuts. It is as African as apartheid and conflict diamonds. I am as American as baseball and Obama, but by the time I learned I was African, I was too black, too present in hip-hop, gospel, and R&B to notice the origin of their beats, too busy worshiping Martin to revere Mandela, and too confused to notice that they were one and the same, to notice I am one in the same black skin, the red blood that runs through these veins, a part of a race and gender being harvested beneath the green leaves of a cash crop in a field of dreams. My motherland taught me I am East and West hemispheres, poured into a melting pot, seared by slavery and a hot and dry heritage that curls into a question mark right around Confederate flags and cotton gins. There are answers in the echoes of pages from a middle passage. Click in photos and stories spoken about Malawi and Chichewa. Click in a Malawian woman's story. Click in an African American man's story. Click. I am a collage, a collection of frames and images, a threadbare patchwork quilt tattered and torn, waving in the wind. I hope you see me. Thank you, SwitchPoint.